Hello, today we're going to be talking about acne and dairy. Now if you look here, where is it? Here, you'll see a little acne spot popping out. This was caused by a meal I ate a few days ago, and until I ate that meal, I had virtually zero acne. And what was in that meal that caused the acne was cream. It was like a lasagna kind of thing my mum made. The thing you need to know about dairy is, for a lot of people, it actually does cause acne. This isn't cap or whatever. It actually does cause acne for a lot of people in all forms of dairy, but especially milk and whey protein powders, especially the processed kinds. If you're having things like unprocessed fermented dairy, it's not as bad. But you might be thinking, why? Why is this happening? Well, it can be for a few reasons. First of all, some people might just be straight up allergic to dairy, but that's actually only a very small amount of people that are actually allergic to it. Most people can actually tolerate it pretty good. The main reason is actually because the dairy is very processed, and I have proof of this as well. But I'll get into that. First, I want to talk about different types of animal milks. So obviously, most of the time people are consuming cow's milk, and cows are actually pumped with a lot of hormones to keep them pumping out milk. And this could, although it's undecisive, but there's things to suggest that all the hormones that are pumped into cows, as opposed to sheep's and goat's milks, are actually one of the driving things that causes acne in people. Because that's also why people, when they go through puberty, they also get more acne, because they're going through hormonal fluctuations, just like the cows giving you hormonal fluctuations through the milk. But one of the reasons it's kind of contentious is because there's also a lot of studies that suggest we don't even really we ingest the hormones that are in the milk, but we don't actually really digest them. They're actually mostly destroyed by the stomach acid. This is seen by ingesting of other foods, such as, if anyone knows Conor Murphy's Divine Protein shakes that he consumes for testosterone. They actually don't give you any testosterone, despite the fact that they do actually contain that hormone, because it just gets all destroyed by your stomach acid. So you cannot actually, it's not really actually affecting you. Sheep and goat milk has like really stable kinds of, it has a different kind of protein in it. The protein particles are smaller in the milks, but the big thing is, you've probably heard of A1 and A2 milk. All milks by default were A2, which is just like the normal kind of protein. But cow's milk is actually a lot of the cows in the dairy industry that they use are called Friesian cows, which have A1 protein, which is the bad kind. What A1 protein is a lectin, basically, and what that does is it can disturb the your body's construction of like the gut wall lining. So that can cause issues in the body for some people. It affects some people more than others. Some people it doesn't really affect them at all, apparently. But this mutation in cows only occurred about like 500 years ago. This scientists estimate. They weren't there when it was invented, they're just guessing. Yeah, it was invented 500 years ago, and it's only in cows, so all other animal milks, like whatever, sheep, goat, buffalo, they don't have this A1 protein. And that's another potential cause for people's acne problems with dairy. Lectins are also found in things like grains, like peanuts. But the main thing is with dairy is that pretty much all the dairy you eat is pasteurized. Now you might think that's just like a scam. Oh, raw milk's actually not even good. Raw milk's, I've seen a lot of people saying stuff like that. There's no difference between pasteurized milk and raw milk. Raw milk's just going to give you food poisoning. That's actually just false, and I've experienced that firsthand. And I've straight up proof of that, because look how much acne I'm getting just from. By the way, I didn't even eat much. I ate probably like, I don't know, like 150 milliliters or so of dairy. I try to avoid it as much as possible because I expect something like this to happen. But despite that, I still got an acne flare-up. But when I have raw dairy, such as raw cheeses like Grana Padano. Grana Padano is actually heated to like 37 degrees Celsius or something, but that's not enough to affect it, obviously, because I've seen that it doesn't affect me. I've eaten quite a large amount of that cheese, and like what's the word? Intermittently, I've gone through like some phases, like in a week I'll eat like a large quantity of the raw Grana Padano cow's milk cheese, and it didn't affect me. I didn't get any acne from it. Also, another cheese I've had that it didn't affect me was Roquefort. Also had I have had raw milk before and it didn't give me acne either. So why? Why does this happen? Presumably because of the enzymes in the milk that they alter how you digest it. And I guess we can't fully digest regular pasteurized cow's milk the same as we digest raw milk, and it just freaks up our system and gives us breakouts. In my experience, all this large like cystic acne, like the big volcanic lumps that are protruding out of your face, and it hurts when you sleep on it, stuff like that. All that kind of stuff, all that kind of acne, can actually be avoided in my experience. I can pretty much turn it off completely if I eat a clean diet. If I don't mess up by eating mummy's lasagna. But here's a catch. Raw dairy is pretty much illegal in most places, so you can't get it. I live in Australia, it's pretty much illegal here, except for the raw cheeses, which is what I was talking about before. So what do you do about it? You can just cut out dairy. Oh, butter's okay, by the way. I should mention that. Butter doesn't give me acne, from what I've seen. Or maybe it's just that it causes like such a small amount that I don't notice it, Because I imagine there'd still be some sort of milk proteins or something that would make it have similar properties to other dairy like milk. But there is a lot of nuance to this topic, because I've heard some people say, for example, that they don't actually get acne from drinking goats and sheep's milk, even if the milk's pasteurized. So if anyone is like that, anyone has like any anecdotes like that they've cured it by switching over to a different type of animal milk, or by having fermented milk, for example, kefir or yogurt. Or some people also claim that even just cheese, like feta cheese instead of milk, helped them, but that doesn't work for me. If I have pasteurized cheese, it still gives me issues. Even goat's cheese gives me issues if it's pasteurized. But there are some people who say that it doesn't. It really depends. I'm sure there's even some people out there who, even if they have raw goat's cheese, all raw, organic, blah, 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 it doesn't matter, they'll probably still get acne just because they have some sort of, intolerance to dairy or whatever. Sucks to be you, because milk's pretty tasty. So yeah, what would I advise? I'd advise, if you do get acne from milk, just don't drink it. It sucks. You can't have milk. Oh well. It is what it is, man. Switch to Coke. You could switch to coconut yogurts and stuff. They're still pretty good. They're still creamy and they do still have saturated fat. They don't have the same vitamins and they don't have, like, for example, the calcium and whatnot the milk has. But oh well. It is what it is, man. You gotta make do with what you got in this life. So if anyone has any sort of anecdotes like that, please try to slap them down in the description. And yeah, that's it. Goodbye.